This is the 59th episode of decluttering my parents' entire house until me and my family can afford to buy one.
I have a lot of things that need to get done today, and unfortunately I really don't feel motivated whatsoever, so I think I'm gonna set a timer for like 30 minutes for myself and work until the end of that. Anyway, in the decluttering process, we have ended up leaving a lot of things out because unfortunately with all the stuff in the garage, we don't have a place to put everything. I'm gonna kind of condense all of this to make myself feel a little bit better. Let's go do that.
I've started to notice that when things are clean, it's easy to keep them clean.
This goes in the garage.
But by the time a mess starts to compile, adding one thing on top of that mess doesn't really make a big difference. And I honestly think that's a really big part of why over time things just accumulate. Once one person starts a mess, it's easy to make it a lot worse. I had to feed my toddler. She really wanted to be in my video today, but I was trying so hard to keep her out of it.
My husband needs to carry it to the garage and it's too heavy for me to lift, so I'm just gonna push it out of the way for now so it feels better in this room.
My typical strategy.
An entire box full of books, basically.
Most of these boxes were extremely
I'll
heavy.
donate, they go in the garage.
That's actually kind of how it started to accumulate. My husband's just been working a lot, and so he hasn't had a chance to carry this stuff yet. He did end up doing it today, even at the end of a long work day, and I am so grateful.
I'm not about to climb under the table at 32 weeks pregnant.
I have officially reached the point where when anything goes under the table or under the couch, I really struggle to dig it out. But honestly, doing this is really good for me anyway, because I can get my squats in and really start prepping for labor. Last time I was drinking the red raspberry leaf tea and eating dates every day, but I never did squats, and I think it would help.
My mom's keep stuff I'm not really sure what to do with. I think I'm gonna put it with the other stuff.
We have started storing the keep stuff in one of the old rooms we cleaned
I'm
out.
not wanting to show this to you guys, but I feel like it's a true part of the decluttering process and it needs to be shown. Little setbacks. It's really quite stressful, but we're gonna get it taken care of just to have that garage sale.
The in-between is kind of embarrassing, but honestly, it's just a real part of the process. And I'm starting to feel like leaving these parts out was really not fair to you guys. I know that eventually the entire house is going to be clean, and I cannot wait for that day. But for right now, this is just where we're at. Hey, honestly, this is a big part of why I don't film during the day. And I usually wait for my husband to get home because my kids just want to be in my videos. And I decided not to show their faces, so it makes it a little bit difficult when they walk right into frame and look directly at the camera. So sometimes they start talking to the camera too, and I really think that they just want to be like me. But it's so cute.
Sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't see the timer.
I don't know why when I started this, I thought I was going to be able to get through this entire room and also the kitchen in 30 minutes. Maybe it's time blindness or just overestimating my abilities, but it was all okay in the end. And I could just make the kitchen a whole separate video, because that definitely also needs to be done at this point. Unfortunately, with everything that's been going on the last couple days, the dishes have kind of started to pile up. It's nothing too crazy though, and I definitely think I can get it all done in like half an hour. But then again, I did say the same thing about this today. By the way, does anybody have any idea how to clean these tiles properly? Because mopping them doesn't get them clean, steam mopping them doesn't get them clean. They're the kind that have like indents in them, and so dirt just collects in all those tiny little holes. And my mom hates the tile, but we can't replace it right now. And my little handheld steam cleaner actually worked really well on it. But I think it would take me an entire month just to clean the whole floor with that thing. I have even gone as far as to get a drill brush attachment and scrub the floor on my hands and knees, but I still can't get it fully clean.
This is giving me severe anxiety, to be honest, but my husband's gonna take care of it all as soon as he gets home, which should be any minute now. Being as pregnant as I am, I just can't do it myself anymore, and I'm home by myself right now, so it is what it is.
Yes, at times the mess can actually feel very suffocating. And most of the time I'm very overwhelmed because of it. But again, that's why I started doing this entire thing. And you best believe I am not gonna give up until we are completely done. Cannot wait for the day that we're living in a perfectly clean house and not overtaken by our living space. This is actually his second time doing this because he missed the first time and hit the wall, but he didn't want me to show that one. Anyway, it was around this point that I had the most genius idea ever.
Honestly, at this point, I think we should just sell the garage like a storage unit. Somebody just buys everything in there. Storage wars or whatever.
Do I actually think that somebody would do that? Not really. But hey, a girl can dream, am I right? Anyway, at this point, yet again, we have a full table of stuff to add into the garage sale, so I'm gonna have to sort that out. Anyway, here's your before and afters. Did you find the shark?